All right, good Wednesday holiday from Bruce at Targeted Wealth Creation. All right, what do I have in store for you? A Misty and a Coney update. So for once, Misty didn't have any trades and Coney finally had some trades. All right, let's jump in here. So we have Ms. Misty with no, well, they did actually add 25,000 shares, but that's pretty small for them on the pace they've been on. So let's look at what happened to the underlying. Well, the underlying in Mr., as most of you probably know, crypto took a little bit of a hit. So we're talking 2.51% in Mr., and Misty only went down 1.71, so we closed at 29.34. All right, that's all we got really on that front. Let's take a look at the weeklies and see how we're doing. So we see the prices reflected here. No added trades, but we're doing really well on our weeklies. When you go down, you typically do, right? You move away. Look at the distance here. And with 2 trading days, because obviously there's no trades on Wednesday the 19th, so we got 2 more trading days. So we're 8.14 on a small amount, 24% on another small amount, and the bulk, we're almost 10% away. So that's looking pretty good. We've captured almost 70% of the 5 million to win, so we want to capture the other 1.5. So sometimes people ask me questions, all right? So I'm just going to do a tiny explanation. So these weeklies, and it's in the prospectus and described, they sell what's really known as a naked call. They refer to it sometimes as a covered call, but we don't own the stock. So the idea is you go out somewhere between 5 and 15% on the prospectus, and you know, these at the time they were written were probably 5, 6, maybe 7. And they want the stock to not move past those. So we want Mr., the underlying, to stay below 1589, and we keep all that money below 1820, which there's no doubt it will, and below 1610. So based on this contract count and the price that we sold them for, we collect money. And it's money that we set aside and say, if they stay below those prices, it's our premium, we get it, and we use that to help pay the monthly distribution. So they always want to get a yield, and they always want to win on their weekly. Doesn't always happen. But when it's going flat, not going up past those strike prices, and just going down a little, we always win those. But you have a synthetic match pair that we talk about sometimes, and that's where you can make a lot of money, but you only pull that money out every month or so, because those are written out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks. And then they roll those when they get close into another set. And those are both they're long bullish bets, so they only make money when the underlying goes up. This makes money when the underlying goes up a little bit, stays flat, or goes down some. If you really crash, then the synthetics are going to kill you, and you're going to collect all the premium. So that's the problem with going down too much. Just like going up too much, you win on the synthetics, but you take some of the wind away, WIN, because you're capped. You can only, you start losing above that 5 or 7% that you wrote the call, and you have to spend all that money to buy it back. Anyway, that's the breakdown, because people always ask that question. So let's go to I don't want to do payouts yet, but I've covered Just a reminder on the synthetics, right? We didn't do any on, but we did some on 617, so we're okay there. Misty's just in a situation where it's not got its $2 or $3 that it normally builds up. And I'll show you. So I think we're ready in the holdings. We've covered everything. 25,000 shares were added. We closed at 29.34. Fair value is 29.22. We are building this synthetic back up into a losing. We went from about 6 million to 12 million. Again, it's a paper loss. We don't have to worry about it till 719 over here. But you don't like to see it, but it's okay. It's not going to harm us right now. And these guys were winning on. This is every call that we wrote, how much we collected, and how much of it right now we get to keep based on the value. 2 more days go by, we don't go up to these 1650, 1610, or 1580. We get to keep all 5 million. But right now, if we had to close it, we'd have to pay 1.5, so we would have made 3.5 out of the 5 million, which is 70%. Okay, let's go to payouts and wrap this one up. All right, so we're setting pretty much where we were. We didn't write any today, so this is going to simulate where we were. We've got 51 cents collected that we could pay out in short call income. We've got another, well, that's not true. We don't have another 36. We really have 36 cents because this is losing slightly on the synthetic. So technically there's only 36 cents to pay out. Now we got 2 more weeklies on the calendar to collect, say another maybe 12 million, but with 9,300,000 shares, that's maybe $1.30. So like I said, Misty, they may want to keep this at the $2 level, and I say they being YILEDMAX, but it could be, I teased you guys about hitting for the cycle. It's got a full 4-bagger, a 2-bagger, and a triple. So is this their first single month? Could be. Let's see. We've got 14 days to declaration, and that includes 2 more Fridays, right, to sell calls and get it up a little. And then it's going to come down to YILEDMAX. This isn't a great month so far. Can turn on a dime. If BTC takes off and Mr. takes off, then our synthetics will start making us a lot of money. All right, so that's our good friend Ms. Misty. Let's see what Mr. Coney is doing. And he's doing kind of better. And he hasn't been performing like Misty has. Last month wasn't great. They kind of bailed it out, gave it a little extra. But let's go over to June and catch up with what's happening in Coney. So Coney had some shares brought money in the fund, a couple 100,000. I mean, but look at the difference in the share count, right? I did one earlier on YBIT. I'm sure some of you watched it. It went from 1,100,000 to almost 2 million. So I said, hey, it doubled, but it was over 90% of an increase in 2 days. And I hadn't updated it, right? So I did a 2-day update, and it's like, hey, the outstanding shares double. So people are piling in. I just figure it's on sale. But that one's looking pretty good. So on Coin the underlying went down 3.73 on Friday. We went down 3%. There's always those people that, oh yeah, you got 100% of the downside and you can only go up 15% on the upside, which is entirely wrong. And so is to go down 100%. You don't go down 100%. You're collecting weeklies. That's worth something, right? 3, 4, 5, 10%. It depends. But you don't match the down performance. Close. So I'm not going to tell you. You don't go down because you can go down. Tesla was proof of that. All right, so they wrote 550 contracts. They wrote it at $1.75 premium collected, and they wrote it at a strike price of $2.50. So you notice what they do. There were 3 trading days, technically only 2 more trading days because they knew Wednesday. They dropped it, and they had been getting 2.4, 3.4, 3.1 when Mr. was higher, but since there's only 2 trading days and left when they wrote this and Mr. is down, they had to drop to 250. But honestly, that's, they're showing 595. I think that's using this number, so let's go look at the weeklies for a second. Yeah, it is 595, so they're using the closing. But look at these, 9, 12, 11, unless unless coin just takes off, and that would be a BTC takeoff. I don't expect it in the 2 days, to be honest. So we're winning 85%. Right, we've got 7.3 million written, and we've captured 6.2 million, so it's 85% of everything, right? So they may, if these drop and go down to 5 cents or 8 cents, and maybe they'll write the weeklies on a Thursday again, like it happened. Probably not, but you never know. So looking pretty good. Let's go over holdings and see how it all breaks down. This is what I was referring to. So as you go down, okay, and meaning you're winning your weeklies and they get further out, then you also increase your synthetic loss, because a synthetic where you buy the call, sell the put, both of those are bullish option bets. They do best, the put just dissipates in value, right? It just goes away. Once you run past 260, this is worth almost nothing. Because we're down at 235, 25 of it is below the 260. The other 8 is the time premium out to 719. And so at 235, we're lucky to get 10. There is nothing above the number. It's only time premium left. So you have time to fix this and get this 56 million, because it's a paper loss right now. It's not a realized loss. This is where you're gaining your money. You've captured, and what I mean by captured is you wrote the call, you got the money, and now even your liability of what it's worth, and it declines every day, right? As long as you stay below 262 and 265 and 257, and you're at 235 in the next 2 days, you get 100%. 99.9, they'll buy it back for a penny or 2 pennies. They're required to do that. But they already have 85%. So we closed at 21.32. Fair value is 21.29. So this is the only thing, right? You can see it graphically. With this selling down, we're increasing this paper liability. I can live with it for now. Let's go over to payments and wrap this up, guys. I know some of you are loving these fast ones. So here we are at our share count. We have got a loss in our short call, which we can easily in another week or two get that down. Because at 28 million, yeah, we can do 7 to 8 a week. So 2 more weeks would just about, it won't. It'll get this down to maybe a 30-cent loss. But if we write some more synthetics and we get this, then there's Coney's payday. So it's all up to Coney. Collect your weeklies to lower this, or run and increase the heck out of your synthetics. Right, this says we got $1.80 total to pay out. That means that the synthetic is generating $2.70 because this is losing 90 cents. It's the way the math works on these two. So if it stood right now, the very worst is they would pay 90 cents. Are they going to pay 90 cents? No, they're going to pay more than that, and we're going to have some more weeklies. So this could be a $2 plus payout for Coney this month, and it's likely to exceed this amount. But again, let's see. All right, so that's what I got for Coney, and that's what I got Misty. I'd say of the two, Coney is outperforming Misty when you look at the details. Okay, guys, Have a great holiday. I hope you're doing something. I know a few of you may be working. Not every industry is closed, but there's a lot of things. Banks, post office, stock market. So anyway, enjoy your time. Again, this is Bruce for Targeted Wealth Creation. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's fun and entertainment. Hope you are entertained. Okay, see you guys. Bye.